My story in the film is really inspired by my connection to Palestine, and my mother's connection to Palestine as well. She took me once to Gaza for her brother's engagement, and I was 4 when I went there, and I saw her smile connect with the sea, and this really felt an everlasting impression on me. And then in 2014, there was a huge offensive happening on Gaza. Back then, it was one of the longest wars. It was a 50-plus day offensive, and we were devastated. I was looking through the news every day on YouTube, and that's when a video of young men jumping and having fun in front of a colossal bombing happening in the background. I mean, looking at that footage took me to that time when we used to visit Palestine every summer, and made me want to do a connection with the team. And I fetched them through Messenger and started talking to Ahmed, and that's when everything started.
So how did your own experiences of those, nostalgia, your own memories, how did it shape them while making the film, or the filmmaking process?
So I became, if you would look at the film, there were like 3 chapters in the film. There was the time when I'm more of a shadow. You don't see me, where I feel so isolated, lost in my identity. And then there is the film, the chapter when Ahmed reassures me that you are one of us, you are a Palestinian. And then that's when you see me get an insider look of Gaza. I no longer depend on his material as a parkour player. I depend on what I want to tell as a filmmaker from the story itself. And then there is the time when Ahmed flees, and I hope I'm not spoiling the film for anyone. When Ahmed flees to Sweden, this becomes more identical to my own story as somebody who's outside. So it's an arc that was really interesting and important for me, and really it helped me, like you said, develop my connection and understand this nostalgia and this sense of belonging.
So how did your relationship with Ahmed and the parkour team influence the way the story unfolded throughout the film?
So my relationship to Ahmed, it's I mean, some people say it's an improbable friendship, and I would say no. I feel what connects me with Ahmed is more than just a friendship. Or an improbable friendship. We are people who share the same background, the same pain. We are people who belong to this piece of land, but we are deprived from living in it. It doesn't matter if we're living inside or outside. Even if we're living inside, we're deprived from living in it in a natural way. My relationship to Ahmed started from a strong place. My relationship to the parkour team started from a strong place as well. Like I said, I saw this connection of the Palestinian spirit between me and them, and it was fortified and it was reassured when we kept talking, and I was granted this insider perspective into their worlds.
So what challenges did you face capturing the spirit and the resilience of Gaza?
The challenges were more technical than, let's say, emotional. There is this access, the challenge of access. I used to teach at the university, and I always used to tell my students access is key. You have to be able to visit your characters, to connect with them in person. This was not possible with the parkour team, but I thought that I will turn this challenge into an advantage. It's important for that challenge to be there in the film as well, because I am from that place, but I am not able to reach that place at the same time. So the biggest challenge was getting to the team. There was a really, really hard time during making the film, which is when October 7th happened. We started losing crew members. We started losing parkour players. And we thought we are in post-production. We're going to end the film with Ahmed going back home, but we thought we can't be disconnected from what's going on. We need to address it, especially that we are losing that many people who helped us and who were part of this. So that's when we decided to revisit the narrative of the film, and it wasn't even easy for me to make it relatable, but I kept thinking, and I thought there will not be a way better than me treating this as a letter to my mother. My mother used to be very emotional whenever something happened in Gaza. So I thought it'll be more of a letter to my mom. It was very challenging for me to make it in as a character in the film, but I also overcame that challenge for the sake of making the film relatable to the atrocities that are taking place right now.
Telling these Palestinian stories, and also what do you think about using art, especially cinema, as a way of maybe spreading awareness or showing injustice?
I believe I'm a huge advocate for art in its various forms and shapes. But cinema specifically and cinematic documentaries especially, I feel they have a really long lifespan. Their importance comes from them being a piece of document that never dies. So, and in general, that's the role of art. It's like telling personal stories, just getting into the details, into the layers. It's different from, let's say, especially sometimes documentaries get mistaken with the news piece or TV documentaries. With cinema documentaries, you get into the details of the life of whatever people are suffering, and you have a lot of playfulness in the form itself, in what you want to say, in what layers you want to add, how to address them. So there is a lot of importance to that as well.
And lastly, what do you hope people to take or think after watching this film?
Oh, that's really. I don't think we will finish if I list what I would love for people to carry away with them. I mean, the overarching theme of the film is belonging. This is where I come from, addressing this film. I'm a person who is really attached to my Palestinian identity and has this question rolling in my mind all the time. Am I Palestinian? Am I qualified to call myself a Palestinian? What does it mean when I'm not living what they're living as a population who keeps being under challenges and suffering and all of that? So I would love for them to come out of the film understanding this layer of belonging and longing for a Palestinian person who lives outside. I would love for the film also I would love for people to understand that we cherish our identity as Palestinians, even though we come from different places in Palestine. Many people ask me, why are you from Nablus and do a film about Gaza? I mean, that doesn't make sense. No, that makes all of the sense, because I'm Palestinian after all, and we share this heritage. We share this identity together. There is also the fact that Gaza used to be an open air prison. Now it's a graveyard. It's a concentration camp. So I tried to address the idea of this besiegement through the sea. You see the sea in the film a lot. Through the air, you see the broken airport, and through the checkpoint, the land, where you see Ahmed trying to get out and then he can't. There's also the layer of immigration and immigrants, and what does that mean to a Palestinian with such a specific identity when you can't come back to visit your family, and you have to build this new life somewhere else from scratch. There is the layer of parkour and freedom, and what the context of Gaza gives to that parkour. There is the layer of, we spoke a lot about nihilism and how this balance of death and life in Gaza, when I mistakenly thought of what they're doing as nihilism, but then realized that no, they are living every moment. It's life. It's not death. Nothing in it is about death. It's about them cherishing life and challenging life. There is a lot to say of what I wanted to say, but
One last thing is that you said that you saw children, doing those parkours in the middle of bombs. How do you interpret that? How do you reflect on that? Children playing in the midst of all those, horrible events happening in their hometowns.
yeah, this moment specifically was the spark of the film. This is what made me connect with the team. That moment specifically took me to those moments when my mother used to take us to Nablus, my hometown, and that spirit, that Palestinian spirit, where we used to enjoy life despite whatever was going on politically around us. So it took me to that moment, that they are enjoying despite Israeli bombings happening in the background, despite they are challenging it by being just smiling.